What I was trying to do in the paper was understand the political culture of the Eritrean state. My central argument was that the Eritrean state has promoted a model of citizenship that I call sacrificial citizenship, which reflects or promotes the idea that the citizen should sacrifice themselves for the good of the nation. And the government has really set itself up as the representative of the nation and given citizens very little ability to hold the state accountable or to define what national projects the state will undertake, but instead the state expects citizens to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of the nation as defined by the state. And I particularly focused on the symbol and history of what Eritreans call martyrs, which are those who have died for the nation, particularly during the 30-year-long struggle for Eritrean independence from Ethiopia. And I argue that the martyr symbolizes this social contract of sacrificial citizenship. And there are many institutions and practices that the Eritrean state carries out to sort of promote this idea of martyrs made Eritrea possible, and that what we do today sort of honors the sacrifices that the martyrs made. A good example of how the state has elevated martyrs is in the Eritrean constitution, which they spent 3 years writing and educating the population about, but actually has never been implemented. But for example, in that constitution, the oaths of office that government officials would swear to are in the name of our martyrs rather than in the name of God or anything like that. And one of the things I look at also in this research project is a flyer circulated by the Eritrean consulate, actually in Oakland, that was circulated widely among Eritreans in diaspora in 2008 that urged them to commit themselves to support a martyr's family. And this was talking about people who had died in the 1998-2000 border war with Ethiopia, and asking members in the diaspora to commit themselves to sending $30 a month to support the families of martyrs. And what I thought was interesting there was how there was a substitution, two substitutions really. One, the substitution of diaspora's money for giving their lives to the nation, and the other substitution, substituting the recipient of diaspora funding, the martyr's family, for the Eritrean state, which has historically been a great recipient of diaspora financial support, going back to even before Eritrea was an independent nation, during the liberation struggle, when diaspora around the world did a lot to fund that struggle. There's so much more to be done in terms of understanding both Eritrean history and trying to think about what might be in Eritrea's future. I mean, one of the huge challenges is that there has been a very successful project of censorship and a culture of self-censorship among Eritreans that has affected even scholars trying to work on Eritrea. There's also been a very tight control over information. Now it's very difficult even to get access to go to Eritrea to do research. My own current research has focused a lot on Eritrean diaspora websites, which I think are a fascinating source of a much more open public sphere, even though even within that there are sort of practices of self-censorship and sort of national narratives that are perpetuated there. But there's also been a great fluorescence of dissent and a diversity of views and attempts to tell alternative histories as some people report on their experiences during the struggle and sort of, things they witnessed that are not part of the official heroic mythic narrative of the EPLF, who then became the PFDJ, who are the ruling party in Eritrea.